If our members could be seated and our guests seated at the sides of the chambers. The Senate will come to order. The Senate this morning will start by a prayer by Reverend Stephen George. Please rise if you're able.
Numbers chapter 30, verses 1 and 2 say, "This is what the Lord commands. When a man makes a vow to the Lord or takes an oath to obligate himself by a pledge, he must not break his word, but must do everything he said." Almighty God, as we start this 103rd General Assembly, we ask for your wisdom and guidance over the next few months. Help us remember the oath we take today and give us the grace to serve the people of this great state of Missouri to the best of our ability. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Please welcome Highway Patrol Troop F and the presentation of colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by God Bless America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Would you join me in thanking the Troop F Color Guard as well as a fantastically talented Caitlin Thompson here this morning. Good job. Please be seated. The Senate rules from the 102nd General Assembly, second regular session, will be the rules of the Missouri Senate until temporary or permanent rules are applied. The Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the benefit of the body, reporters from various media outlets have been granted permission to take video and pictures in the chamber.
Please send those forward.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am now sending forward the appointment of officers for the temporary organization of the Senate, and I ask that they be read.
Senator, do you want to make a motion about Missouri Highway Patrol and the sidearms?
Yes, Mr. President. I would ask for unanimous consent of the Senate to allow members of the Missouri Highway Patrol to enter the chamber with sidearms.
Hearing no objection, the Missouri Highway Patrol will be allowed to enter the chamber with sidearms. Senator, you have sent the members forward. Secretary, please read the members.
Temporary officers: President Pro Tem Cindy O'Laughlin, Secretary of Senate Christina Martin, Sergeant at Arms Marty Drool.
Senator from Platte.
Mr. President, without objection, the above-named officers will stand as temporary officers until permanent officers are elected.
Hearing no objection, that motion will carry. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, would you inquire of the Secretary if there are communications from the Secretary of State, and if so, I ask that they be read.
There are communications from the Secretary of State. Secretary, please read those messages.
To the Honorable Senate of the 103rd General Assembly, First Regular Session of the State of Missouri, in compliance with Section 115.525, Revised Statutes of Missouri, I have the honor to lay before you herewith a list of the names of the members of the Senate for the 103rd General Assembly, First Regular Session of the State of Missouri, elected at the November 8, 2022 general election and the November 5, 2024 general election. In testimony whereof, I hereunto set my hand and affix the official seal of my office this 8th day of January 2025. Signed, John R. Ashcroft, Secretary of State. Missouri State Senators, elected November 5th, 2024, district and name. From the 1st, Doug Beck. 3rd, Mike Henderson. 5th, Steve Roberts. 7th, Patty Lewis. 9th, Barbara Ann Washington. 11th, Joe Nicola. 13th, Angela Walton Mosley. 15th, David Gregory. 17th, Maggie Nuremberg. 19th, Stephen Weber. 21st, Curtis Gregory. 23rd, Adam Schnelting. 25th, Jason Bean. 27th, Jamie Berger. 29th, Mike Moon. 31st, Rick Bratton. 33rd, Brad Hudson. The Missouri State Senators elected November 8, 2022, district and name. From the 2nd, Nick Schroer. 4th, Carla May. 6th, Mike Bernsketter. 8th, Mike Searpoy. 10th, Travis Fitzwater. 12th, Rusty Black. 14th, Brian Williams. 16th, Justin Dan Brown. 18th, Cynthia O'Laughlin. 20th, Curtis Trent. 22nd, Mary Elizabeth Coleman. 24th, Tracy McCreary. 26th, Ben Brown. 28th, Sandy Crawford. 30th, Lincoln Huff. 32nd, Jill Carter. 34th, Tony Lukemeyer.
I would remind our guests and members, Senate rules would require you to silence your cell phone or take those calls outside. We appreciate you accommodating this request. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. As is our custom in the Senate, the newly elected and re-elected senators will now be escorted by current sitting senators to the dais and then proceed to receive their oaths of office. We will begin with the re-elected senator from the 1st District, Senator Doug Beck, escorted by Senator Nick Schroer of the 2nd District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Governor, it is my pleasure to introduce Missouri State Senator Doug Beck, representing the 1st Senatorial District. I first met Senator Beck in 2016 on the Missouri Freshman House Tour after we won our respective state representative races. Just 4 years later, he was elevated to the upper chamber, winning his first term in the Senate in 2020. If you know anything about Senator Beck, I'm certain it's that he's been a proud member of Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Local 562, for nearly 40 years. I won't tell you how old I am. Before his legislative tenure, Senator Beck served on Afton School Board for 9 years. Setting politics aside, two things I admire most about my colleague Senator Beck is his love for his family and our sports teams. If you ever see Senator Beck and myself talking in the back of the chamber, which is often, we're talking about our families, the Cardinals, Blues, or Cacaw, the Battlehawks. His wonderful wife, Marilyn, 2 children, and 4 grandchildren are always on Senator Beck's mind while he's serving the people of the 1st. His life's journey from plumber to a respected legislator is a testament to his dedication to Missouri and its people. I have the pleasure of introducing you, Senator Beck. Congratulations.
Let's welcome Doug Beck to the 1st Senatorial District. Senator from Platte.
Next, the senator from the 3rd, Senator-elect Mike Henderson, who will be escorted by Senator Carla May of the 4th District.
Mr. President, I am delighted to introduce Senator-elect Mike Henderson for the 3rd Senatorial District. Senator Henderson was elected in 2024 to serve in Missouri's 3rd Senatorial District, which includes Crawford, St. Francis, St. Genevieve, Washington, and a part of Jefferson City. Senator Henderson is a former member of the Missouri House of Representatives from 2017 to 2024, where he served as Speaker Pro Tem from 2023 to 2024. Senator Henderson graduated from high school in Jackson, Missouri in 1978, received his bachelor's in science from Murray State University in 1982, completed his master's from Southeast Missouri State in 1990, and received a specialist certificate in 1992. Prior to running for office, Senator Henderson worked as an educator administrator from 1983 to 2014 and served as both a public school teacher and coach. Senator Henderson resides in Deloge with his wife, Sherry. They have 2 children and 1 grandson. Congratulations to Senator Henderson and welcome him to the Senate.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Mike Henderson from Senate 3rd. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next, the senator from the 5th District, re-elected Senator Steve Roberts, escorted by Senator Mike Bernsketter of the 6th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to introduce the senator from the 5th District, Senator Stephen Roberts. I represent like 5 counties. He just has a small part of the city of St. Louis. And I previously had, I served with him in the House, and now I have the honor of serving with him in the Senate as well. While he was in the House, he was selected to serve as chairman of the Missouri Legislative Black Caucus. He is a 4th-generation St. Louis native whose parents and grandparents overcame segregation, discrimination to establish their careers. His mother, Dr. Ezra Frazier, became a distinguished doctor, and his father a respected attorney, St. Louis alderman, and successful businessman. It is from his parents that he developed a strong sense of civic responsibility and social justice. Senator Roberts received a law degree from Pepperdine University School of Law. He was a former prosecutor for the city of St. Louis, where he participated in over 100 cases from minor weapons offenses to homicides. Senator Roberts also serves as a captain with the Missouri Air National Guard in the JAG Corps. During his first term in the Missouri Senate, Senator Roberts has developed a reputation of being an honest broker and a person of integrity that I'm honored to call my colleague and my friend. Mr. President, Senator Roberts.
Let's welcome Senator Steve Roberts from Missouri's 5th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next is the senator from the 7th District, Senator-elect Patty Lewis, escorted by Senator Mike Searpoy of the 8th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to introduce Patty Lewis, who's been advocating for people her entire career. With over 20 years of experience in healthcare, she has made a profound impact both as an ICU critical care nurse and as a healthcare executive. As a nurse, she has provided compassionate care to the most vulnerable patients in the hospitals. As an executive, she has led teams, built innovative strategies, and identified solutions to improve patient safety for healthcare organizations across the globe. Patty's commitment to service and giving back was instilled in her at a young age by her parents. Inspired by her father's dedication and example, she decided to run for office to make a difference in her community. She has carried those values throughout her life and began her journey in public service in 2020. For the past 4 years, Patty has fulfilled her role as a state representative for the 25th House District, which is in Kansas City, championing the needs and aspirations of her constituents. As she takes the oath of office today, she is joined by members of her family, including her mother, Rowena, and her husband, Aaron. Senator Patty Lewis becomes the first nurse to serve in the Senate and recommits to her mission of advancing progress, equality, and opportunity for all. It is my honor to present Patty Lewis.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Patty Lewis from the 7th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next up, the senator from the 9th District, re-elected Senator Barbara Washington, escorted by Senator Travis Fitzwater of the 10th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's my privilege to introduce my former House colleague and now my Senate colleague from the 9th Senate District, Senator Barbara Ann Washington, who was first elected to the Senate in 2020 and was reelected in 2024 to represent southeastern Kansas City and Jackson County. I know her to be a fighter for her district and the things she cares about, and there's probably no better example to me of this than last year when she riddled my wife with questions in a committee on one of my bills, which I appreciate very much. In her district, she regularly presents programs designed to bring attention to the importance of small business development, juvenile justice reform, minority mental health awareness, crime reduction, and environmental preservation. Senator Washington volunteers with her sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Inc. She's a member of the St. James United Methodist Church, the Metropolitan Community College's Board of Trustees, Urban Summit, Freedom, Inc., United Nations Association of Greater Kansas City, and the Urban Neighborhood Initiative. In addition to her legislative duties, Senator Washington is a practicing attorney who also possesses an MBA. She's a proud graduate of the University of Missouri-Columbia's famed School of Journalism. She's very proud of that point. She mentioned that several times. She obtained her Master of Business Administration from Avila University and her Juris Doctorate from the University of Missouri-Kansas City. She's proud to have one daughter and to be the BB to two boys, Knight and Heir.
Let's welcome Senator Barbara Washington from the 9th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next is the senator from the 11th District, Senator-elect Joe Nicola, escorted by Senator Rusty Black of the 12th District.
Mr. President, it is my honor to be able to introduce the senator-elect, and there's a reason why I put elect in there, it's at the end of the speech, from the 11th District. And with that, my little piece of politics has been found out by people looking through many Missouri archives that this is the first time a Republican, which is hard for me to believe, had been elected to the 11th District to carry that number, and that was a surprising thing to learn that. Senator-elect Nicola from Kansas City represents the eastern part of Jackson County, both the city of Independence as well as other communities in that part of the county. His family's originally from Kansas City. He spent a little sliver of his life in New York, and I don't know why they decided to come back to Missouri. Thank you for returning. Senator-elect Nicola has spent time doing various jobs in his lifetime, and one little commercial plug, he is an author, he has a book. I'm sure if you will buy a book, he would sign it from you as well. You can talk to him after the ceremony. Senator-elect Nicola has been a Navy Seabee in his life, and we thank him for his service. He's been a motorcycle mechanic, hopefully better than I was growing up. Then he went to work to be a school bus driver to begin with, and that with his lovely wife, Renee. I don't know whether she knows this part of the story, but yesterday he told me they were driving by and a sign on the school bus says, "We need bus drivers in Independence." And she pointed the sign, says, "You need a job." Okay? Because at that point in time, he was part-time youth minister at his church, and he ended up being a school bus driver. And then during part of our story, and he just found this out, He trained bus drivers for the independent school district to keep them from getting in trouble by administrators as well as parents. I wish I knew that service was available from my times driving the bus, because I've been able to physically talk to some upset people because of my actions, and I was right, they were wrong, but they didn't understand that. So, Senator-elect Nicola, you could have saved me a time or two. There's a couple little letters in my personal file we don't want to discuss on a microphone. Okay, with that, Senator Nicola has given tremendous service to Jackson County, both in his role as minister, senior minister at the church that he pastors, as well as several other organizations such as Habitat for Humanity, Salvation Army, the City Union Mission, Independent School District, Youth Friends Organization. And I would say, of all the things that have prepared you for this, we discussed this in your office. Being a senior pastor and getting to listen to people anywhere from donate $5 to $500 a week, if you've survived that, you will survive this place. But one thing left. Also in your minister role, this is your last chance to run out of the back of the church before you do this. Senator Nicola, good luck.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Joe Nicola from Missouri's 11th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Continuing on, next up for the 13th District, re-elected Senator Angela Walton Mosley, escorted by Senator Brian Williams of the 14th.
I present to you today for re-election Senator Angela Walton Mosley. Senator Mosley is a trailblazing leader serving Missouri's 13th Senatorial District. As the first black person elected to represent the district in the Missouri Senate, she continues her family legacy of public service with her father, late stepmother, her sister who's here, Rochelle Walton, as well as her husband, Jay Mosley, who also served in the Missouri. They all have served as leaders in our state. Senator Mosley also was raised in North St. Louis County, attended St. Louis Public Schools. She is an alumna of Grambling State University. She also earned a bachelor's degree in science degree, as well as a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Embodying her lifelong commitment to excellence, education, and civic engagement, Senator Mosley married to former State Representative Jay Mosley. The couple made history by jointly passing House Bill 402, becoming the first married couple in Missouri's General Assembly to achieve such a legislative milestone. Voted mother of three, Jermond, Janae, and Chanel Mosley, Senator Mosley balances her family responsibilities and dedication to serving her constituents with her daughter posed to join the Missouri House of Representatives. The Walton Mosley family legacy of leadership and service continues on. President, I present to you Senator Walton Mosley.
Let's welcome Senator Angela Walton Mosley from the 13th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 15th District, Senator-elect David Gregory, escorted by Senator Justin Brown of the 16th District.
That look for, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. It is my honor to introduce and welcome Senator-elect David Gregory. I've had the privilege to know David for several years now when he was in the House. He represents the 15th Senatorial District. He was born and raised in St. Louis. He knows the needs of his constituents. Wife, Paige, and their beautiful daughter currently live in Chesterfield. David served 6 years in the House of Representatives and received the Freshman Legislator of the Year award. David is a strong Christian conservative, and I look forward to serving with.
Let's welcome Senator-elect David Gregory from the 15th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. The senator from the 17th, Senator-elect Maggie Nuremberg, escorted by Senator Cindy O'Laughlin of the 18th Senatorial District.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's my honor to introduce the senator from the 17th District, Maggie Nuremberg. Senator Nuremberg grew up in Clay County and attended Smithville School District from kindergarten to graduation. She earned her bachelor's degree from Truman State University, from my area, where she interned for Senator Chuck Gross. Following graduation, Senator Nuremberg married her husband Greg, and they joined the Peace Corps together. They spent 2 years living in the rainforest of Ecuador and working education and public health. Upon returning to Kansas City, Senator Nuremberg earned her master's degree and teaching certification from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. She went on to teach at University Academy and North Kansas City High School. She taught Spanish, journalism, and English language learners before being elected to the Missouri House of Representatives in 2020. She fully embraces the joys and challenges that come with being a boy mom. As a boy mom myself, I'm sure we'll have many stories to bond over. Maggie and her husband Greg are the proud parents of 3 sons, Luke, Eli, and Henry, who are all here today. Maggie loves to spend time with her family, her parents, 3 sisters, in-laws, and 17 nieces and nephews. It is my honor to present Senator-elect Maggie Nuremberg.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Maggie Nuremberg from the 17th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 19th District, Senator-elect Stephen Weber, escorted by Senator Curtis Trent of the 20th District.
Mr. President, it is my honor to introduce and welcome Senator-elect Stephen Weber. He is a former Marine who served 8 years in the House of Representatives. He will represent Boone County, including his beloved hometown of Columbia. He's joined today by his brother Jonathan and mother Barbara. And in addition to his service in the Senate, he also works for the AFL-CIO, is known as the best-dressed member of the office. Thank you, Mr. President.
Please help me welcome Senator-elect Stephen Weber from the 19th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 21st District, Senator-elect Curtis Gregory, escorted by Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman of the 22nd District.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my honor to introduce the senator from Saline as one of our newest members. Many of you know him as a former state representative and a standout offensive lineman for the Mizzou Tigers, where he made his name protecting our quarterbacks with unwavering strength and determination. On the field, his physical presence was impossible to miss, standing tall as a leader in size and spirit. He will likely serve this chamber in the same way. This Missouri farmer, a 4th-generation farmer, and the only pig farmer in the legislature, brings the same dedication and tenacity to the Senate. As the only member to graduate from Mizzou with a master's degree in general agriculture, he carries with him a deep understanding of Missouri's agricultural roots. Just as he defended his team under the bright lights of Farrow Field, he will now defend Missouri taxpayers, ensuring their hard-earned dollars are wisely and responsibly spent, and that our state's rural values are protected. The senator's family, his wife Kella, along with Brooke and Henley, are with us today, and his parents, Ruth and Roger, are here in spirit. The last senator from Saline County was Bill Stouffer, followed by Senator Pierce and then Senator Hoskins, but today we welcome a new era of leadership from Saline. With a proven track record of tackling tough issues, he's ready to lead Missouri forward with integrity and strength and a commitment to the values that make our state great. Please join me in welcoming Senator Curtis Gregory.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Curtis Gregory from the 21st District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 23rd District, Senator-elect Adam Schnelting, escorted by Senator Tracy McCreary of the 24th District.
President, I present to you Senator-elect Adam Schnelting. Schnelting's family came to America in 1628. He's a seventh-generation Missourian and a member of the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. Adam Schnelting has been honored with many titles. He's a son, he's a husband to Christine, he's a father to Catherine and George, he's a minister, a soldier, a realtor, and a state representative. I enjoyed working with then Representative Schnelting over in the House. We worked together to protect seniors, our military, and children. Today, he will soon no longer be the gentleman from St. Charles County. He will be the senator from St. Charles County, and I'm proud to call him a colleague again. Welcome to the Missouri Senate.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Adam Schnelting from the 23rd District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 25th District, re-elected Senator Jason Bean, escorted by Senator Ben Brown of the 26th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my privilege to honor to introduce Senator Jason Bean today. Senator Bean has served the good people of the 25th District for over the last 4 years. This last November, he was reelected to serve them for another term. The people of the 25th are privileged to have somebody like Senator Bean serving them. He understands more than anyone the importance of agriculture to our state, both domestically and internationally. As an agribusinessman, Senator Bean understands more than anyone the importance of agriculture to our state. It's my great honor today to stand before you and recognize a leader whose vision, dedication, and unwavering commitment to public service do not go unnoticed. One thing that stands out to me is that he is someone that will never hesitate to reach out to you and give you a call just to see how you're doing and check in and visit, and also make a trip to your district and grab lunch and spend some time catching up. I'm proud to have served with Senator Bean for the last 2 years. I've gotten to know him and his strong work ethic and values that help guide his decision making. His entrepreneurial spirit and integrity are invaluable to this chamber. He is joined here today by his 3 children, Colin, Claire, and Otto, and I'd like to welcome all of them here today as well. Congratulations on your re-election, Senator, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you, sir.
Let's welcome Santa Jason Bean from the 25th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 27th District, Senator-elect Jamie Berger, escorted by Senator Sandy Crawford of the 28th District.
President, it's my honor this afternoon to introduce Senator-elect Jamie Berger. I've known Jamie from his time in the House, where he served from 2020 to 2024. Jamie comes to us from a wide background, a varied background, I guess I should say, and I think he's going to make a great addition to the Senate. He spent 37 years in business, also 12 years in county government. I think that makes a great all-around, he's going to make a great all-around senator. I asked Jamie a fun fact that I could share, and he gave me a great one. Jamie in 2013 was the cover model, yes, cover model, for Steel Corporation, and if you don't believe me, I have the pictures to prove it. Jamie's joined here today by his wife, Sherry, his sister, 2 brothers, in-laws, and a host of friends, and I couldn't be more proud to introduce Senator-elect Jamie Berger.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Jamie Berger from the 27th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 29th District, re-elected Senator Mike Moon, escorted by Senator Lincoln Huff of the 30th District.
Mr. President, it is my pleasure today to introduce to the body Senator Mike Moon. Senator Moon is a dedicated public servant representing Missouri's 29th District. A Republican from Ash Grove, go Pirates. He was first elected to the Missouri Senate in 2020 and re-elected last year in 2024. Before his Senate tenure, he served in the Missouri House of Representatives from 2013 to 2020. Senator Moon is known by all of us for his very strong conservative values and commitment to constitutional principles. In addition to his legislative work, he is a fellow cattleman from Southwest Missouri, an active member in the High Street Baptist Church, where he serves as a deacon and also a Sunday school teacher. Born actually in North Carolina, Senator Moon graduated from Western Branch High School in Virginia and later earned a bachelor's degree in secondary education from what was then Southwest Missouri State University, now the Missouri State University. He and his wife Denise have 5 children and are the very proud grandparents of 7 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Mike Moon.
Let's welcome Senator Mike Moon from the 29th District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 31st District, re-elected Senator Rick Bratton, escorted by Senator Jill Carter of the 32nd District.
Mr. President, it is an honor for me to stand before you today and to stand with Senator Rick Bratton and introduce him to this body. Senator Rick Bratton is a native-born son of Cass County, growing up in Greenwood, Missouri. After graduating from Lee Summit High School, Senator Bratton earned the title United States Marines and served 6 years, achieving the rank of sergeant. After getting out of the military, he founded a successful small construction business that has been in operation for 18 years and currently resides on his 40-acre hunting paradise. You shouldn't have probably said that out loud. Rick married the light of his life, Athena, and is a father of 5 incredible children: Mariah, Kayla, Rick, Garrett, and Hannah. He and his family are devoted Bible-believing Christians. Guided by his faith, Senator Bratton has been a strong and steadfast leader fighting for true conservative values. These values are what led him to become a founding member and chairman of the Missouri Freedom Caucus. Recently, the Missouri Times named Senator Bratton Legislator of the Year for his ability to diligently uphold conservative Christian values while at the same time ensuring that legislation important to his district was made a priority in the entire Missouri Senate. He's also somebody who stood beside me 2 years ago introducing me, so it's a great pleasure to introduce Senator Rick Bratton to this body.
Let's welcome Senator Rick Bratton from the 31st District. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the 33rd Senatorial District, Senator-elect Brad Hudson, who I will introduce. President, it is my privilege today to introduce Senator-elect Brad Hudson. Senator-elect Hudson will represent the 33rd Senatorial District in southern Missouri. Raised on his family farm near Cape Fair, Senator-elect Hudson continues to live there today with his wife Carissa and their 2 children, Bethany and Daniel. As a pastor, Senator-elect Hudson holds a deep understanding of the importance of protecting religious liberty and is unwavering in his commitment to defending conservative values while promoting the interests of rural Missouri. His journey in public service began in 1998 when he worked as the Chief Compliance Officer for the Stone County Department of Planning and Zoning. In 2008, he was elected as the Stone County Assessor, a position that he held until his election to the Missouri House of Representatives in 2018. In the House, Senator-elect Hudson serves as the chair of the Economic Development Committee and vice chair of the Rules Legislative Oversight Committee. With a strong commitment to his community, Senator-elect Hudson has earned the respect of his constituents. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome him to the Missouri Senate, and I look forward to serving.
Let's welcome Senator-elect Brad Hudson from the 33rd District. The oaths of office will now be administered by Judge Kelly Broniak of the Missouri Supreme Court. Judge Broniak.
If you each would raise your right hands to be sworn, please. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Missouri, and will faithfully perform the duties of my office, and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. So help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations. Senators and senators-elect, please take your seats. Madam Secretary, please call the roll of the 103rd General Assembly of the Missouri State Senate.
Senators Bean, Beck, Bernsketter, Black, Bratton, Brown 16, Brown 26, Berger, Carter, Searpoy, Coleman, Crawford, Fitzwater, Gregory 15, Gregory 21, Henderson, Huff, Hudson, Lewis, Lukemeyer, May, McRary, Moon, Mosley, Nicola, Nurenburn, O'Laughlin, Roberts, Schnelting, Schroer, Trent, Washington, Weber, Williams.
A quorum has been established. The Senate for the first regular session of 103rd General Assembly is duly convened. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without objection, the Senate will go to the order of business of resolutions, and I ask that you recognize me for a resolution.
Hearing no objection, the order of business will be resolution. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution. I am sending it forward, and I ask that it be read.
Madam Secretary, please read the resolution.
Senate Resolution Number 1. Be it resolved by the Senate of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Missouri, first regular session, that the rules adopted by the 102nd General Assembly, second regular session, as amended, insofar as they are applicable, be adopted as the temporary rules for the control of the deliberations of the Senate of the 103rd General Assembly, first regular session, until permanent rules are adopted.
Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the resolution be adopted.
You've heard the motion from Senator Platt. Does any senator desire to be heard on that motion? Hearing none, Senator, you recognize to close.
Thank you, Mr. President. I close.
Senator from Platt renews his motion that the resolution be adopted, establishing the rules. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. You have adopted the resolution. Senator from Platt.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that the Senate proceed to perfect its organization. And Mr. President, I nominate the senator from Shelby as the president pro tempore of the Missouri Senate.
Senator from Platt has nominated the senator from Shelby for the president pro tem of the Senate. Do we have a second? Senator from the 1st.
I second the nomination.
Senator from the 1st seconds the nomination. Further nominations? They will close. Madam Secretary, please call the vote on the nomination for president pro tem of the Senate, Cindy O'Loughlin.
Senators Bean, Beck, Bernsketter, Black, Bratton, Brown 16, Brown 26, Berger, Carter, Searpoy, Coleman, Crawford, Fitzwater, Gregory 15, Gregory 21, Henderson, Huff, Hudson, Lewis, Lukemeyer, May, McCreary, Moon, Mosley, Nicola, Nurnburn, O'Loughlin, Roberts, Schnelting, Schroer, Trent, Washington, Weber, Williams.
By your vote of 34 aye, including the senator from Shelby, and 0 nay, you have elected the next pro tem of the Missouri State Senate.
I, Cindy O'Loughlin,
I, Cindy O'Loughlin,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
and faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty,
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed history. Please help me welcome Senate Pro Tem Cindy O'Laughlin from Shelby County.
Good afternoon, senators, distinguished guests, and fellow Missourians. Thank you for the trust you've placed in me by electing me as President Pro Tem of the Missouri Senate. It is an honor to serve in this role, and I am humbled by your confidence in my ability to lead this chamber through the challenges and opportunities ahead. I want to take a minute and thank my husband, Russell, for being here today. He has exercised extraordinary patience with me over the last 41 years and has been very supportive of me through the ups and downs during my years in the Missouri Senate. So, thank you. So, like many of my most passionate supporters and sharpest critics, my political career did not begin in the Capitol. It began as an activist. As a small business owner, I experienced firsthand the frustrating disconnect between government policy and the realities faced by families and workers in communities across our state. I believed that having a business owner's perspective could bring much needed common sense to the decision-making process. When a Senate seat opened, I initially tried to encourage other business owners to step up, but no one was willing to take on that challenge, so I decided to step forward myself. 6 years later, I am honored to stand before you as your leader and humbled by this journey. We have much to accomplish, and with hard work and God's grace, I believe that we can make a difference for the people of Missouri. Throughout my time in public service, I've held firm in my belief about what truly makes Missouri great. Our greatness is rooted in the strength of responsible families who work hard, educate their children, and build resilience and faith. It is grounded in the character and wisdom of our young people, qualities that guide them to make sound decisions, achieve success, and lay the foundation for their own families. Dedicated parents, through their tireless efforts, instill in their children the determination to reach for their goals. This has always been the hallmark of societies that thrive. Our policies must reflect those values. We must support strong, healthy families, expand access to quality education, ensure safe neighborhoods, and set high expectations for the next generation. This is the foundation for success and prosperity. Yet, we have too often allowed ourselves to be distracted from this path. While I am confident in what makes the state great, I must also speak plainly about what does not. Our greatness does not come from diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives that prioritize superficial measures over merit and responsibility. Our greatness does not stem from policies that make abortion easy and accessible while devaluing the sanctity of life and undermining the sanctity of the family. Our greatness is not found in unchecked illegal immigration, which strains our resources and challenges our communities. Our greatness is not found in enabling destructive behaviors, whether it's gambling away a paycheck or the normalization of drug use. When we look at the trajectory of our state, it is clear that we are facing real challenges. But I believe that by returning to our core values and principles, we can chart a better course forward. I stand before you today as the first woman to ever be elected President Pro Tem of the Missouri Senate. And as a woman, I have seen firsthand how the role of the family has been transformed and sadly too often trivialized. Mothers have been undervalued, fathers have been dismissed, and the institution of marriage has been diminished. These shifts have left deep and lasting challenges for families across our state. Single-parent households and absent fathers create barriers that can feel insurmountable for those trying to navigate the demands of parenthood. Missouri cannot and should not seek to replace the family, but we must recognize its vital importance. We must remind the next generation of mothers and fathers that they are special, that their roles matter, and that their contributions are indispensable. For families struggling to put food on the table, find steady work, or access quality education, we must ensure they have local solutions to lift them up and meet their needs where they are. By investing in families, we are investing in the future of our state. If you take a hard look at our child welfare system, you will see a system that is failing to meet families where they are, failing to understand their struggles, and failing to provide meaningful assistance in their time of need. Too often, instead of addressing the root causes of poverty and addiction, we criminalize them. The result, children are seized from their families, almost guaranteeing additional trauma and harm. This cannot continue. Our system must become more compassionate, more hands-on, more local, and more purposeful. Removing children into state custody cannot remain our default response to every crisis. Families in turmoil do not need to be raided. They need to be supported and strengthened with resources that address their challenges at the ground level. At the same time, we must be resolute in protecting children from true harm. In cases of physical or sexual abuse, we must act swiftly and decisively to ensure their safety. These children deserve secure, loving homes, whether with foster families, relatives, or other kinship support. When biological parents refuse to take the steps necessary to provide a safe environment, we must stop subjecting innocent children to cycles of harm. Children in crisis deserve more than delayed action and endless uncertainty. They deserve a clear and stable path to safety, permanency, and hope for a better future. Our responsibility is not just to respond, it is to act with purpose and urgency, ensuring the best outcomes for the most vulnerable among us. Too many of Missouri's children are being left behind, not because they lack potential, but because we have failed to give them the tools to succeed. A quality education should be the cornerstone of every child's future, yet in some of our school districts, large and small, basic skills like reading and math are neither taught effectively nor prioritized. Despite investing millions of additional dollars in literacy training and being 4 years past the COVID pandemic, only 41% of our students are reading at grade level or above. These failures deprive children of the ability to build the foundation they need for a lifetime of learning and opportunity. Every child can learn, and every child must be taught to read. Without this skill, their futures are stolen before they even begin. This failure is not the fault of one group alone. It is a collective failure. From the state to school boards, from educators to parents, every stakeholder must do better. It is time to refocus our efforts on results that matter. Can a child read by the 3rd grade? Can they understand and analyze what they have read by the 8th grade? Are they prepared by high school graduation to pursue a trade, higher education, or a career of their choosing? These are the benchmarks that define success. And by these measures, we are failing far too many children in Missouri. This cannot continue. We must also recognize that education and health are deeply intertwined. A child who is not well nourished cannot focus, learn, or thrive. Our policies should encourage environments that support physical and mental well-being,
beginning with the basics of proper nutrition and active lifestyles. Far too many children are consuming diets that hinder their ability to concentrate and succeed in school. By promoting healthier choices and fostering habits that prioritize well-being, we not only improve their ability to learn, but also lay the groundwork for a lifetime of success. These are investments in their future and the future of Missouri. But even with the best education and proper nutrition, our children and families cannot thrive without safety. Yet across Missouri, from Joplin to St. Louis City, crime has become a serious problem, robbing families of the peace and security they deserve. Fentanyl trafficking, break-ins, and violent crime have reached unacceptable levels. Missouri's violent crime rate is now 28% higher than the national average. We must act decisively to confront these challenges. We must stand firmly with law enforcement as they work to reclaim our streets and hold accountable those who threaten our communities. The reality is that most crimes are committed by a small number of repeat offenders. We can no longer tolerate a system that fails to deliver justice, one that releases dangerous individuals back onto the streets to reoffend. Swift consequences are essential to restoring safety and ensuring justice for victims. When families and communities are strong, when children are well nourished and well educated, and when our streets are safe, Missouri thrives. These are not lofty ideals. They are achievable goals, but reaching them will require determination, focus, and the courage to make hard choices necessary for our future. For those of you who know me, you know I've spent my life working in male-dominated industry, from trucking to ready-mix concrete. And as the mother of 4 sons, I've learned how to make tough decisions and stand firm against ideas that don't stand up under scrutiny. These experiences have taught me the value of building strong foundations, both in business and in life. In state government, just as in concrete, the foundation matters. The people of Missouri deserve results that are real, measurable, and above all, accountable. Government at every level must be transparent. Taxpayers have a right to know how their money is being spent and to trust that every dollar supports the priorities that matter most. Building better roads, ensuring safe streets, strengthening families, expanding quality education options, and fostering an environment where businesses can create good-paying jobs. Every decision we make should reflect the values of the people we serve and deliver results that stand the test of time, just like the strongest foundation. It is time to set clear standards and demand accountability. We owe it to the people of Missouri to ensure their hard-earned tax dollars are not wasted on political agendas, but invested in ways that strengthen our communities and deliver results that are as solid as the values we represent. I'm excited for the work ahead. If you share my belief that Missouri can do better, that we can prioritize spending more effectively, and that we can demand greater accountability from our government at all levels, then I look forward to working with you to lay a foundation for success and deliver the results Missourians deserve. To my colleagues, I offer this invitation. Let us rise to the responsibility we have been entrusted with. Leadership requires collaboration, thoughtful debate, and decisions rooted in sound policy. It is not always an easy path, and there will always be critics. But I have confidence in each of you, in your ideas, and in your commitment to making Missouri a great place to live, work, build a business, and raise a family. Together, we can build something lasting. Thank you for your trust in me and for giving me the honor of serving as your leader. I am humbled by your confidence and will work every day to be worthy of it. May God bless us with wisdom, and may He also bless the great state of Missouri. Thank you.
Senator from Shelby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I nominate Christina Martin as Secretary of the Senate.
Nomination for Secretary of Senate of Christina Martin. Does any senator desire to be heard? Hearing none, Senator from Shelby, recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. President. I close.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll for the nomination of Christina Martin as Secretary of the Missouri Senate.
Senators Bean, Beck, Bernsketter, Black, Bratton, Brown 16, Brown 26, Berger, Carter, Searpoy, Coleman, Crawford, Fitzwater, Gregory 15, Gregory 21, Henderson, Huff, Hudson, Lewis, Lukemeyer, May, McCreary, Moon, Mosley, Nicola, Nurenburn, O'Laughlin, Roberts, Schnelting, Schroer, Trent, Washington, Weber, Williams.
By your vote of 34 aye and 0 no, Christina Martin has been nominated and elected as the Secretary of the Missouri State Senate. Senator from Shelby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now nominate Marty Druhl as Sergeant at Arms.
You've heard the motion from the Senator of Shelby County. Does any senator desire to be heard on that motion? Hearing none, Senator, you're recognized to close.
Thank you. I close.
Senator from Shelby renews her motion that Marty Druhl be Sergeant of Arms of the Missouri Senate. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Bean, Beck, Bernsketter, Black, Bratton, Brown 16, Brown 26, Berger, Carter, Searpoy, Coleman, Crawford, Fitzwater, Gregory 15, Gregory 21, Henderson, Huff, Hudson, Lewis, Lukemeyer, May, McCreary, Moon, Mosley, Nicola, Nurenburn, O'Laughlin, Roberts, Schnelting, Schroer, Trent, Washington, Weber, Williams.
By your vote of 34 aye and 0 no, Marty Druhl has been elected to the Missouri Senate Sergeant at Arms. I'd ask Marty and Christina to ascend the dais. The Honorable Kelly Broniak will once again administer the oaths of office.
Please raise your right hands. I state your name.
I, Christina Martin,
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the State of Missouri, and will faithfully perform the duties of my office and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Broniak, and congratulations again to Marty and Christina, the senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without objection, the Senate will go to the order of business of resolutions, and I have a resolution. Ask that you recognize me for a resolution.
Senator from Platte, the order of business will be resolutions. Please send your resolution forward.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask that the resolution be read.
Madam Secretary, please read the resolution.
Senate Resolution Number 2. Be it resolved by the Senate that the Secretary of the Senate inform the House of Representatives that the Senate of the first regular session of the 103rd General Assembly is duly convened and is now in session and ready for consideration of business. Be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Senate notify the House of Representatives that the Senate is now organized with the election of the following named officers: President Pro Tem Cindy O'Laughlin, Secretary of Senate Christina Martin, Sergeant at Arms Marty Druhl.
Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the resolution be adopted.
You've heard the motion from the Senator of Platte. Does any senator desire to be heard on that motion? Hearing none, Senator, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Senator from Platte renews his motion. All those in favor of adoption of the amendment, vote signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. You have adopted the resolution. Senator from Platte.
Mr. President, without objection, the Senate will go to the order of business of concurrent resolutions. I ask that you recognize the senator from Shelby for a concurrent resolution.
Hearing no objection, the order of business will be concurrent resolutions. Senator from Shelby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a concurrent resolution and ask it be printed in the journal. No explanation is necessary.
Please send your concurrent resolution forward. No objection, it will be printed in the journal. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. In accordance with Section 91.141 of the revised statutes of Missouri, will you please have the Bill of Rights read?
Madam Secretary, please read the Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights, Amendments 1 through 10 to the Constitution of the United States of America. Amendment number 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Amendment number 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment 3. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Amendment 6. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Amendment 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Amendment 10. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to these states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without objection, the Senate will go to the order of business of introduction of guests, and I ask that you recognize me for a few introductions.
Hearing no objection, the order of business will be introduction of guests. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have here on the side galleries on my left and on my right, and I would ask that each of them stand whenever their name is called to be recognized, multiple former women of the Missouri Senate who were here today to witness the history made with the senator from Shelby being elected as the first woman president pro tem of the Senate. Senator Jamila Nasheed. Senator Gina Walsh. Senator Kiki Curls. Senator Rita Days. Senator Lauren Arthur. Senator Jolie Justice. Senator Carla Esslinger. Senator Elaine Gannon. Senator Holly Thompson Rader. And Senator Luann Ridgway.
Let's welcome all these fine ladies one more time back to the Missouri Senate. We are proud to have you. The order of business is introduction of guests. The senator from the 9th District.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I see you're going to go out with a bang. I would like to introduce some really close friends who came to watch me get sworn in today. Reverend John Modest Miles.
Let's welcome John Modest Miles to the Missouri Senate.
Benita Powell, who's in the balcony.
Let's welcome Ms. Powell to the Missouri Senate.
Janet Miles Bartee.
Let's welcome Ms. Marti to the Missouri Senate.
Conrad Bartee.
Let's welcome Mr. Bartee to the Missouri Senate.
And a couple of guests who were here, and I don't know if they're still up there, Deputy Tourism Director Lori Sims and Bridget Williams. Thank you.
Let's welcome these folks to the Missouri Senate on behalf of the Senator of the 9th. Senator from Dunklin County.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce a couple special guests.
Proceed.
Mr. President, on the front row here to your right, we've got Anna Sykes with us from Farmington, Missouri. She's going to be an intern in our office this year. She's at the University of Missouri, majoring in journalism.
Let's welcome this young lady who is our future from the University of Missouri.
My nephew, Blake Davis, if he would rise. Blake does a tremendous job. He actually runs the farm at home and allows me to be here, and like I say, just does an incredible job. And Mr. President, you might find this very interesting. He is a great mechanic, and after you were on my farm and ran that piece of machinery, Blake and I worked about 6 hours together getting it back together to be in operation. So please welcome Blake.
Let's welcome Blake. Senator from Dunklin, may the chair inquire of you.
Absolutely, Mr. President.
After your nephew Blake fixed that piece of equipment, did he also bring you a razor from Southeast Missouri?
President, times are tough, and I had to cut some expense somewhere. So if I find one, though, I will shave. So.
Supporting America's farmers. Senator from the 14th was rising to introduce some guests.
This is a first. Mr. President, I would like to also recognize a special guest as well. To my right, I'd like to recognize our St. Louis County Councilwoman and soon-to-be next Chairwoman, Rita Hurd Days, also former state senator here in the Missouri Chamber. Thank you.
Let's welcome Senator Rita Hurd Days. Introduction of guests. The senator from the 7th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce a few special guests.
Proceed.
In the upper gallery behind me, I have my aunt and uncle, Pat and Paula White, also my niece, Mackenzie Powell, and to your left and my right in the front row, I have my mom, Rowena White, my brother, Jim White, and my husband, who I call my #1 constituent, Aaron Lewis.
Would all the guests of the senator from the 7th please rise, and would the Missouri Senate welcome them today? Senator from Clay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of special guests, please.
Proceed.
I have my parents here with me, Steve Wolcott and Deborah Ahern, that I'd like to introduce, as well as my husband, Greg. The kids were up in the upper gallery before with some cousins, neighbors, and friends, and everybody was hungry, so they went to go get pizza, but I'd like to welcome them too.
Would the guests of the senator from Clay please rise, and would the Missouri Senate please welcome them? Senator from Scott County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of special guest, please.
Proceed.
My wife of 46 years, Sherry Berger, my brother Robin Berger, sister Jackie Griffith, her husband Steve Griffith, my brother Russell Berger, his wife Stephanie, and several people that made the trek in the ice and snow from Southeast Missouri to Jeff City today in the upper gallery.
Will all the guests from the members from the senator of Scott County please rise, and would the Missouri Senate welcome them? Senator from Cass.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of special guests.
Proceed.
If I could have my wife and two of my 5 kids stand up, I'd love to introduce them. My wife, Athena, Hannah, and Garrett came down to witness. I just want to thank her for all that she does. All of us that are elected, we realize the support structure that's required out of our family. Just thank you. Just love you very much. She does have to leave and get my kids to wrestling practice, but just wanted to give her that out so she could get up and get out of here. So thank you, Mr. President.
Let's welcome this great family for the members of Cass County. The senator from Lawrence was the first audible senator I detected.
Mr. President, I have several guests, first of which is probably the most special in my life. For 45 years, this coming August, Denise will have been by my side as my wife. Denise is on the front row. Would you stand just briefly, Denise? While I'm up here throughout the week, she's taking care of the farm, so I'm wondering, while I'm here, Denise, who's taking care of the farm while you're here? Up in the upper gallery, I see a few faces that I don't know where they're all sitting, but I know that Lynn Rousseau from Lawrence County is here. Diane Painter, presiding commissioner from Berry County. Steve Blankenship, his wife, is here. Sandy Carnes from Christian County is also here. There may be others. I don't know if you're here or not, but I'm so glad you made the trip to see this special event today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let's welcome all these guests from the center of Lawrence County. Senator from the 13th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to introduce my special guest. I have in the upper gallery Dr. Shawana Ferguson and her husband, John Ferguson. You can stand
Let's
as
welcome
well.
the Fergusons to the Senate.
Also, wait a minute, I ain't done. I also have my niece Elaine Walton, sitting over here on my right. My son, Jermond Mosley, y'all can stand as well. My sister, former Rep. Rochelle Grange, also former county council person. My granddaughter, Navi Nicholson, up there on the front row. My daughter, Janae Mosley. And my mother, it's her first time coming up here to see any of us getting sworn in. She's always had some health issues keeping her from coming up here. She's a long-time survivor of a liver transplant, had it back in 1990. She's not supposed to still be alive, but she is still here with us. So I'm glad that she's able to come today. And my husband is here, my former state rep, Jay Mosley.
Let's welcome all of the family members from the Senator of the 13th. The Senator from the 33rd District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce some special guests, please.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Here with us in, I think you call it the well. I'm new here, but up front there is my wife of over 25 years, Carissa, our children, Bethany and Daniel. Stand, please. In the upper gallery is my mom, Carol, and there are a whole bunch of people, friends and supporters that have come up here from District 33 and beyond that have helped me get here. I just want them all to know that I'm grateful for their support and thank them for making the trip. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let's welcome this family and friends from the Senator of the 33rd District. Senator, you get the prize for the largest group here today so far. The Senator from the 15th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of special guests.
Proceed.
Very briefly, Mr. President, I'd like to introduce my beautiful wife, Paige, my perfect daughter, Grace, up in the gallery, my mother and father, Janet and John Gregory, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law, Denise and Mark Gruber, and their father, James Mertz. Thank you so much for being here. I'd ask the body to give them a nice warm welcome.
Would the family of the Senator from the 15th please rise, and with the Missouri Senate welcome them. Senator from the 11th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce my high school sweetheart, girlfriend, and wife of 40 years, Renee Nicola, my brother-in-law, Terry Hessenflow, and my sister, Julie Nicola. And I would like to give a shout out to my mom, who just turned 92 on Christmas Day, but could not make the flight here from New York, and my brother as well. Thank you.
Would the family of the Senator from the 11th please rise? And a shout out to Mom in New York. Merry Christmas to her. Senator from the 1st.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce two special guests, very special guests. If they would rise, they're in the front row. My mom, Diane Beck, who I would not be here without her today. That's an obvious statement. But in so many other ways, she's always supported me and always had my back, and just a great person in general. And my wife, Marilyn, who is the voice of reason on occasion with me. She settles me down and tries to guide me through life. So I could not be here without these two individuals in my life. So thank you.
Let's welcome the family members from the Senator of the 1st District. Senator from Boone.
Introduction of special guests.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce several special guests. I have my brother, Jonathan, who came here from Atlanta today, my mother, Barbara, who's been with me on every step of this journey. And I would like to take a second to introduce Rhonda Griggs, who was my legislative assistant for 8 years over in the House. I don't know how many years she's worked in this building, but it is over 50. She worked for several titans of this body, including Harold Caskey and Wayne Good, and she is still working over in the House, helping this building go. And I just want to thank them all and introduce them, and love you all so much. Thank you.
Let's welcome this family and special guests of the Senator from Boone County. Introduction of guests, the Senator from the 5th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction of special guests.
Proceed.
I would like to introduce the two most inspirational people in my life, my father, Steve Roberts, and my mother, Dr. Eva Frazier. If you both would stand up. It's actually their first time visiting us in this lovely chamber, as stimulating as some of our debates could be, but if the body could join me in making them feel welcome.
Let's welcome the family members of the Senator from the 5th. Introduction of guests. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you please inquire of the Secretary if there are messages from the Governor, and if so, I ask that a reading be waived and they be printed in the Journal.
There are messages from the Governor. Hearing no objection, the reading will be waived and they will be printed in the Journal. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without objection, the Senate will go to the order of business of announcements, and I ask that you recognize me for an announcement.
Senator from Shelby, would you care to do the referrals?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sending forward a list of committee members for administration, gubernatorial appointments, and rules committees. I would ask that they be read.
Senator from Shelby, we will read those committee assignments, but would you care to refer the gubernatorial appointments list to the Gubernatorial Appointments Committee?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Please refer them to the Committee on Gubernatorial Appointments.
They will be so referred. Madam Secretary, please read the members of the committees established.
The Committee of Administration, Senator Cindy O'Loughlin, Chair. Senator Tony Luetkemeyer, Vice Chair. Senator Mike Bernsketter, Senator Doug Beck, Senator Stephen Roberts. The Committee of Rules, Joint Rules, Resolutions, and Ethics, Senator Tony Luetkemeyer, Chair. Senator Cindy O'Loughlin, Vice Chair. Senator Mike Searpoy, Senator Brian Williams, Senator Carla May. The Committee of Gubernatorial Appointments, Senator Cindy O'Loughlin, Chair. Senator Tony Luetkemeyer, Vice Chair. Senator Jason Bean, Senator Rick Bratton, Senator Ben Brown, Senator Jamie Berger, Senator Mike Moon, Senator Doug Beck, Senator Angela Mosley, Senator Stephen Roberts, Senator Brian Williams.
Senator from Platte, would you like to return the order of business of announcements?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, without objection, I would like to move to the order of business of announcements, and I would ask that you would recognize me for an announcement.
Hearing no objection, the order of business will be announcements. Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. I plan to do a brief recess for 5 minutes to allow guests and senators to exit the chamber. When we reconvene, we will proceed to the first reading of pre-filed bills. It is not necessary for the senators to be in the chamber during this order of business. Once we complete the first reading, my intention will be to adjourn under the rules, and we will reconvene tomorrow for formal business.
Further announcements? Senator from Platte.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now make a motion that we recess until 1:50 p.m. this day.
The Senate shall stand in recess until 1:50 p.m. this day.